What's up, YouTube? This is Max here again with my continuation of the Destructional Final Fantasy Let's Play. I have to sound raspy today, it's because I've had trouble with my voice recently. I'm going to jump right into it with the job Dark Knight. Dark Knight is like Paladin, it's a combination of warrior, but it's a combination of warrior and black mage. Which means I get some fun whooshy spells. Big appeal of Dark Knight. Rain and Asper. And various stat absorption spells, which are very fun. Essentially, the job's focus is on dark magic, damage over time, and heavy damage with the weapons. Some of the scythe weapon skills are very impressive once you get to a certain level. Party-wise, the job used to be a rush in and do as much damage in a short amount of time as you possibly can. These guys have MP, so I can... Sucky, sucky. Stab you a long time. Sorry, why is it that? Absorb TP is a huge chunk of fun. But yeah, that's Dark Knight in a nutshell, really. They function fairly well as a solo job if you have the right boosts for your trained spells. Fairly standard damage dealer gear. Job abilities tend to boost damage. Last Resort is a lot like Berserk. Soul Eater takes your own HP to deal damage. Arcane Circle is like Paladin Circle ability. It just boosts everything for party members against Arcana, which are bombs, pots, and dolls. Weapon Bash, which is a short-term stun like Shield Bash. Only you don't need to have a shield equipped for it. Yes, that's Dark Knight in a nutshell. As you can tell, I'm trying to do these a bit faster than I was doing them before. I think after I get the weapon skill off, I don't think I have anything that's great, but I don't have Guillotine yet, so there's an awesome weapon skill. I think I get that at level 60 or 61, maybe as high as 70, I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to find something to smack around. Probably this thread leech over here, because they're always fun to beat up. This is actually a nice solo leveling ground at one point in time. But we just recently had a version update, which changed a lot of endgame content, which I'm not really going to get into. But it changed the job Bard a great deal. Really just shifted around the levels and effects of one of the job abilities. The Pianissimo at 20 instead of 45, and it halves the casting time for the next song you cast. And they changed a few single target songs to area of effect targets. The big deal is that the recast timers for the special job abilities that used to be 2 hours are now 1 hour, which is fairly awesome. Paralysis and killer effects are now more effective against notorious monsters. Also cool. Status effect duration timers will now continue to progress even during cutscenes. Not a great big fan of that because while your time runs out, the effects don't go off as much. So, and besides that, they just changed some storage options, the amount of gil you get for selling some crafting materials, and they added the geodes to the harvestable items from cactus stems, which is really awesome. So that's all for that, and that's all for Dark Knight. So I shall return shortly with Beastmaster. So here I am on Beastmaster. Beastmaster is the job that can charm certain enemies and order them out. So you pretty much take control of whatever critters may happen to be in the area if you can take control of them. And I'm kind of doing it wrong here because you're supposed to let the pet do the fighting for you, and you're just kind of backing it up on Beastmaster. It can be a very fun job. So I come over here and I smack this guy in the back of the head. Oh, he's going to die. Okay, well, that didn't quite work out as well as I think it was going to. So my pet is going to have a lot of TP. Yeah, as you can tell, I've played Beastmaster quite a bit. Your job abilities are pretty much all pet related. You get charm at level 1. You can make them fight, you can make them stay to regenerate health. You can force them to use a TP move if they have the TP to use it. Mine's only got 51% at the moment, so I'll wait on that. You can also call Beast, which uses jugs, which I believe I've mentioned before when we went over the crafting guilds. They're pretty cool. They generally call that around your level or higher, depending on the endurance and the pet involved. Since there are no charmable creatures in the Abyssia areas, Beastmasters pretty much become dependent on the jug pets. You also get wide scan, which lets you see where things are on the map. So if you're going to go notorious monster hunting, you get wide scan. And it will show, depending on the level, it will show a whole bunch of mobs all about. Let's see if we can find a notorious monster out here. Sappy Sycamore. It was Sappy Sycamore. I don't quite remember that particular and or its location, so I think I'm going to track it down and see what it does, what's going on there. Well, that was my bad, Drain Samba. I really made that. In parties, you're probably not going to see a Beastmaster, but if you do, they're going to be taking up a damage dealer role. Hopefully not charming pets that are higher than the party's level, because that would make them take a hit in experience points. Something not a lot of the other Beastmasters know. This might run a little long because I spotted the notorious monster and want to go smack it around a bit. Solo, though, is where Beastmaster really shines, because Beastmaster can take pretty much anything solo, as long as it's not going to do large amounts of chain spike damage to your pet. The strategy is you call your pet or you charm a pet, you send it after whatever you're sending it after, and then you get the hell away for support. You can use reward to recover your pet's HP. We have gear sets that boost that. I think I'm about 10% off the cap for reward potency with my gear swap. You can see on my little mini map there, I've got a blue arrow, if you can see that at all. Showing me where the critter I'm hunting is. There it is, 76. I know this area very well. I'm going to use the job ability Sick to force a TP. Looks like a tough one. Ooh, he's actually doing damage to me. That's kind of neat. I would rather not be the target, so... Oh no, I can't do that with charm pets. Okay, this critter needs to go, so I'm going to send my Funguar on his way. And call out a higher level beast. Then I'm going to dump all the hate I've accumulated on my sheep. This little sycamore can focus entirely on Naz here. So we beat up Steppy Sycamore. Yeah, that's Beastmaster right in a nutshell right here. On its own, Beastmaster is a hell of a force to be reckoned with. Much like most of the pet jobs, if you know how to play them right. So I believe our next job on the list will be... wrong thing, stupid. Bard, which I have level 226. Yeah, you can tell I'm a big bard. So I will be right back with that. So here I am back again, completely lacking here on Bard. Bard is the job that sings. I'm sure you already know that. So let's take a look at some of these. Full Requiem is damage over time. Bard has so many songs that do so many things. They damage over time. A lot of abilities affect enhancing defense, enhancing attacks, melee attacks, evasion, resistances. Just pretty much everything in the world here. Faux Lullaby will put something to sleep, which won't affect it's got damage over time. If you have an instrument equipped, you can have 2 effects at once on your party. Pretty much a massive buff machine is what Bard is. Everything from attack boost to haste to lowering enemy resistances. So when I said that Red Mage was supposed to be master of buffs and debuffs, well, Bard is your undisputed master of party buffs. In a party, of course, a Bard is going to be buffing the party, raising the stats and lowering the enemy stats. Possibly being used as a backup healer. So you never know about that, so we will forward this crawler. Smack upside the head with my crabby weapon. It's a Halloween treat staff, I think. On its own, Bard can still be quite the force to be reckoned with. With the proper support jobs and equipment, Bard can be quite the mean little ass kicker. because, well, don't have any party members bitching at you about casting a buff that only benefits you. But yes, that's pretty much Bard in a nutshell. Overall buff master and solo ass kicker. I will enjoy leveling Bard someday, just not right now. Like I said, the whole focus of Bard is pretty much raising your stats in some way or another. The instruments that you can equip all boost, well, not all, but most have boosts to the different types of songs, like Paean, March, Requiem, and all that. Job abilities generally boost the effects of your songs. So, yeah, there's that. All in all, Bard can be a very impressive job. It is all for the mighty Bard. I shall be right back with, I believe, another job that I have absolutely no gear for, which would be Ranger. Boy. So I shall return shortly. And I am back on Ranger. Another job that I have absolutely no gear for, but I believe I mentioned that before. Ranger's big deal is, of course, its ranged attack. Oh, I forgot to actually equip my bow and my arrows. It's actually kind of silly. A moment. Ranger is, of course, long range. Ooh. Whoa. Headshot. Long range attacks. And Ranger and Corsair are the only two jobs that can use ranged weapon skills. Which I'm probably not going to be able to show you unless I get a TP item out of this chest, so Lark. Like Beastmaster, Ranger has wide scan, it just has excuse me, bigger levels of wide scan. Most of the job abilities boost your ranged accuracy, or get scavenged to find general arrow-related stuff. Camouflage is like Thief's Hide. Sharp Shot increases your accuracy, of course. Barrage is a nice one. Barrage lets your next ranged attack shoot multiple arrows, so you do huge amounts of damage with a barrage. In a party, yeah, you're going to be doing that. Supporting with ranged attacks from distance, and probably trying to not end up drawing the enemy's attention your way. We'll build up a little bit of TP so you can see one of the ranged weapon skills. On your own, well, that's a bit of a different story. Still a competent damage dealer, but you definitely have to watch out for taking damage. You can still use a crossbow with the status bolts, which will help immensely. And I believe you get a job ability that will bind the enemy where they stand. So there is that. That is kind of a saving grace. There's a mouse pad over here, so I'm gonna go over here. The thing about the ranged weapon skills is that they have a set range, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm going to use Piercing Arrow on this here mouse bat. Headshot yet again. That's pretty much Ranger in a nutshell. You're probably going to want to be using macros for all of this, so I don't really have my macros set up, so just like my gear is kind of lacking. Ranger does get some more support abilities at higher levels. It can be a fun job, but it can also be a very expensive job, because good arrows and good weapons, like the bow I'm using, cost 40,000 gil off the auction house. My cheap ammo didn't cost much at all, but it can get pricey. You need to be aware of your ranges. I am not, because I am not a ranged attacker. You also have to be careful of your angle you're fixing, because you may not be able to see the enemy that you're firing at, even if they're on your head sometimes, which is another solo issue. Ranger's definitely good in parties, though. Of course, that is Ranger. I will be right back with Samurai. I don't think I have any gear for that either, so it should be fun. And I am back on Samurai. So, Samurai is generally, well, a really big ass whooper. Yeah, as you can see, I do actually have gear for Samurai, so job abilities boost pretty much everything, but if you have a late sub-job, they will give you a big hit to your recast times. I wonder if I have my Dancer macros. Oh, there we go. That's the one I want. I am taking a bit of damage. Samurai is all about your team. Meditate's job ability, which pretty much over the course of a few seconds will give you 100 TP. Have Samurai as your main job. There's a job ability, if you miss, you will have a chance to swing again. So your Samurai is a pretty badass job. All in all. They have, the other job ability is Sagan, which works with Third Eye. Works kind of like Ninja's Shadows, only it may or may not fade off after a single shot. This tiger is going to make me chase it all over the place. It also has this neat little ability. Which we covered. But the self-skill chains. There's also another self-skill chain ability that Samurai gets at a later level. So, yeah, basically in a party you're going to be doing that and trying not to get everything's attention so much that they all swarm you and just beat the holy crap out of you. On your own, it's not going to matter as much. But if you're going to play on your own, you're probably going to want the Dancer sub-job, like pretty much any damage dealer except for Dark Knight. You definitely going to want to keep the Drain Samba up. You kill yourself a little bit sometimes. I'm pretty sure I should have a better weapon skill by now. I do not. That's interesting, actually. Let's get Sagan and Thermi up. Sagan also cuts the cast time on Third Eye in half. That was harsh. Shouldn't have been. Yeah, you're going to be throwing out a lot of weapons against the Samurai because you build TP so fast. Even if you don't, you have Meditate to build it for you. And Sekinoki to make it so your next weapon skill only costs 100% TP. As you can see, I take a beating. Of course, that's what my weapons and whatnot are for. I should probably have better gear, but yeah, in a lot of other areas, it's in areas that are too low for my level. This is apparently about just right for my level, which is kind of surprising to me. Yes, on your own, you're going to want to be more careful than you would in a party. In a party, you're just going to want to maybe be a little careful, depending on the scope of the party. In a modern party, you're just going to go crazy. Beat the crap out of everything and hell with the consequences. That's why the dancer sub job is so good. Generally, keep yourself from dying pretty well. But that is all for this installment. Grim and myself will be doing... It's always something I forget to mute. Grim and myself will be doing some Christmas shenanigans coming up. There will be another bonus video this week since the Starlight celebration is going on. So I probably want to cover that because it's kind of fun. You get to beat up boxes. Yay! And you get candy, so everyone loves candy. It's also where I got my very awesome Christmas tree that you saw in my mug house. That is all for this installment. Next week, I believe I shall cover... Let's see. Ooh, we're getting good stuff now. Ninja, Dragoon, Summoner, Blue Mage, and probably Corsair, leaving Puppet Master, Dancer, and Scholar for the next episode after that, depending on the time. I had a pretty good handle on time this time. Overuse of the word time. But I had a pretty good handle on it, and I think that should continue through to the end of the Jobs series. Anyway, that is all from me. Take care, everybody. Happy leveling.